Hello YouTube, welcome back to another video, and today it's time for another pickups video. So that's going to be pickups for, oh, what would it be now? September, October, I suppose. So first of all, happy Sunday. Made it through another week, and what I'm drinking is a really nice beer. Highly recommended this one, Gaudale. Very, very nice. So yeah, you beer drinkers, that's one to look up. Anyway, let's crack on. So yeah, it doesn't look like that much stuff, but I've probably forgotten things, as I tend to, dotted them around, because I'm not one of these people that puts all my stuff to one side ready to do a pickups video. They just get put straight into the collection. So for sure would have forgotten some things, but never mind, let's crack on. So this little batch of games here came from my good friend Si Ginger Hippie Gaming. I've probably mentioned before, but he was helping a guy clear out a load of new old stock warehouse stuff. Games and videos from 1980s, and yeah, he was selling them off really good prices, and it's nice because you know that the tapes aren't stretched to hell. So this little bundle I bought from him, there were more games with it. There's one down there, I think, actually. There were more games with it, but these are the ones I just pulled out of the collection, which I kind of recognised. And yeah, he did me a really good deal on these. I can't remember how much I paid for them, but they were a really good price. And one of them is Tiger Road on the ZX Spectrum. These are all Specky games that I bought from Si, and that one I haven't played it yet since I bought this. I think I used to have this back in the day, but I have no idea. Really vaguely recollect it. I didn't, to be honest, with this bundle. He offered me them at a really good price, so I didn't really worry too much what was in there. I knew it was a good deal, so I just grabbed them. Second game, I'm pretty sure I have played this, whether I owned it or not. I've got a feeling I had this on a magazine tape. I don't know which magazine tape it would have been, but Mantronics, which is kind of like a little isometric jobby. But yeah, I definitely didn't have this. I don't recognise this artwork on the cover, but I'm pretty sure that was on something like a Crash or Your Sinclair cassette tape. So yeah, again, I haven't played that one yet. Most of these I haven't played. Yeah, I think just one or two probably of this batch. Then I've got Fox Fights Back, which quite a lot of people seem to have done videos of this one lately, so it does look quite interesting actually. It's I think it's a bit of a weird game, but the animation is nice, and it does seem to be one of those games where you're better off just jumping around rather than getting involved in combat. So although it shows a fox there with his, I was going to say Uzis, but a couple of dual wielding guns there, I think most of it you're better off just sort of bouncing around and avoiding everything. But yeah, quite an interesting game, so I'm looking forward to playing that. I probably won't do a video on this just because a lot of people seem to have done videos of it. But yeah, it's a nice looking game, so definitely one worth looking up if you like something a bit different. Then we've got Grange Hill. Yeah, this one, I think I did have this. I have no idea what it's about, but I'm pretty sure, you know, when you see the cover of a game, sometimes you think, yeah, I'm pretty sure I had that one. I do think I had this, but I won't know until I go to play it. Yeah, look at that, they're the characters. We all used to love Grange Hill back in the, what was it, 1980s, I suppose. Yeah, 1987 this came out. Could be crap, I have really no idea, but I do think I owned that one. Then we've got this one, which I've been playing quite a bit of actually. This is really good. I did a video of this recently called Shootout, and that's obviously C64 screenshots on the back. But yeah, this is like a, how would I describe it? Not Operation Wolf, kind of like a Cabal kind of style, but in a Western, or a little bit like West Bank, I suppose. But yeah, it's quite a good game actually. Yeah, it's he had quite a lot of these to shift, I think, so there's a lot of them around. So if you get a chance to pick that one up, definitely recommend it. It's a good game, fairly shallow. There's not much to it, but it's just one of those fun games to play. So nice little Sunday game actually. Right, just have a little drink a minute. That really is good beer. Then we've got this one, which is, don't think I'd ever played this, Kinetic. The cassette's not in there at the moment because I've been playing it. But this is really good. This one I probably will do a video of just because it's quite unusual. Quite a quirky game. Impossible for me to think how to describe it. Maybe has some slight elements of sort of Cybernoid to it, but yeah, I probably will be doing a video of that one at some point. Won't be for probably three or 4 weeks because I've got other things planned. But yeah, that one will come up, I think. But that's a good game. I'm quite pleased with that. Then we've got this one, which is still sealed, but it's very roughly sealed. So I don't know if I will open it. Not one I'm in any hurry to play. ATE, Advanced Tactical Fighter. I think, again, I've got a feeling I had this on a magazine tape. Pretty certain I didn't own this actual box game of it. But I do think I had, again, I think it was on your Sinclair tape. So yeah, comment below if you remember if it was like ever on a magazine tape. But pretty sure I had it, but I don't think I played it a lot. So probably didn't really grab me. But yeah, I'm tempted to keep it resealed. But as you can see, it's hanging on in there, the seal. But I do like having a few sealed games in my collection. So I'll see. And this next one is one I've been after for ages. And it's the old bus thing, isn't it? Where I've been looking for it for a long time, and the only times it turned up, it was either really expensive or gone already. I settled for this one. It was actually a US seller. It was a reasonable price. I think it worked out to about £18 delivered from the US. But it doesn't have the manual in it. I knew that when I bought it. But I thought, oh, Rebel Star Raiders, I thought I've got to grab it. Probably spent a year looking for this for a good price one. And since I bought it, I've seen probably 3 copies for sale. Either on Sinclair for sale or eBay for about the same money in better condition with the manual. It's just sod's law, isn't it? You know, it's the way it goes. I did think about upgrading it, buying one of the other ones and selling this one, but I've got quite a few things to sell already, which I'll get onto later. But I thought I'd probably just stick with it. It's just another one for the Julian Gollop collection. I didn't play this one, I don't think. The first Rebel Star game I played was Rebel Star 2, I think, and then since then I played Rebel Star 1, but this was the earliest one. It might have even been one of Julian Gollop's first games, I think, but it is a 2-player game only, if I'm correct, so I don't think you can really play it as 1 player. But it's nice to have it in my collection, because I'm sort of trying to collect the Julian Gollop games. So yeah, that's that, and then that's all Specky's done, and I'm sure I've bought more than this, over this period, but I'll see them after and think, oh yeah, what about that one? Right, so next, these are all Atari 800 games, which I've got to admit, or Atari 800-400 games, which I've got to admit I've got right into. I'm really impressed with that system. Since I bought the Atari 400, and that's where there's a bit of a change. But since I bought the Atari 400, I've really been enjoying it. It's taken me by surprise, actually, just how good the 8-bit Atari games were, because I didn't have an Atari 8-bit. And I didn't know anybody that owned one, so I knew of the Atari 2600, and that's probably as far as I actually went knowing Atari systems, because really I didn't know anybody. All my friends most of them had Speckies, a couple had Commodore 64s, a couple of them had Atari 2600s knocking around, but the Atari 8-bit never really saw them. So yeah, it was a surprise to me just how good some of these were. So I've been sort of stocking up on them as I see good deals on them. I kind of grab them. I think one might even be in the system there, which I've forgotten about. But anyway, there was this guy on eBay who seemed to be selling off his collection, obviously an Atari collector. And first of all, he had one this is a homebrew game. And I've been looking at this quite a bit on Atari Age, which is an Atari forum over in the US. And they do still sell this game, but it works out a bit expensive with the UK postage. So it's really a multiplayer game, and it's called Castle Crisis, which is what was the Atari game? I can't remember the name of it, but it's a paddle game, and you've got 4 corners. You can have up to 4 players, and you're basically defending this fireball, which goes around to destroy the barriers. It might sound familiar to somebody. It's an Atari game, I think it is. Can't remember the name of it. Anyway, it's a homebrew version of that for the Atari 8-bits, because the Atari 8-bits didn't get that particular game. But yeah, interesting. This one looks like an old school cart, so I don't know what happened there, whether you had that specially labelled or something. But it is a homebrew one. But yeah, being in the UK, I was really happy to get that. I think I paid probably £15, but if I'd bought it from the US, the probably would have worked out to about 40 odd quid to get it imported. So it is one where I'll be waiting, hopefully, to get to play that with somebody else at some point, because it's not really a single player game, but it just looks so cool I wanted to get it. So yes, that's Castle Crisis. And then the next little batch from the same seller. He was selling these as a collection of four games basically, and the first one, which I love Frogger anyway. First one is Frogger, and I've got this really good version of this on the TI-99 already. That was a good port, but this one actually it's possibly even better. It's horrible to say because I love my TI-99, and I always thought the TI-99 Frogger was about the best home port, but this one, I think the TI-99 looks a bit nicer, but this one's definitely faster. It's more manic gameplay, so it's probably closer to the arcade. I think the TI-99 one's a little bit on the easy side, but yes, this one really good. So very happy to have that. So this was one of the four, and then another one was a game called Chicken, which I think is really a game to use with paddles, but you don't have to. It plays quite well even with a joystick actually, and it's a little bit of a kind of a breakout type game. It's very much like something else, which I as usual, I can't remember these things. I can't remember what game it's like. Wasn't there one where you drop money or something? But you've basically got a little cart, and you're capturing the eggs as they fall down, and if they smash, it will a little chicken will sort of start flying around. But it's good. I'll probably do a video of it at some point. But yeah, Synapse Software, 1982, but a good little game. So that was another one that came with that batch. And then we also had a game called Crossfire, which is that one, which is really good. Fantastic game. It's not anything graphically amazing, but the gameplay is really addictive. It's probably the Atari game I've been playing the most of. I really enjoy it, and I had no expectations of that game at all. So that, again, I'll be doing a video of this one at some point, but that was a nice surprise. Fantastic game. And then the last one in that little batch of four, which I think I paid 40 quid for the four of them, if I remember rightly, which was quite a good deal really, because these are quite uncommon games, I would say. And the fourth one was Choplifter, and yes, it looks like it's been chewed by a dog, I would say. But when I was talking to the seller, he did assure me that although it's chomped up, it does work. And yeah, sure enough, it does. So yeah, I might see if I can get a replacement cart for that at some point, maybe in another crappy cart or something like that, and see if I can remove the sticker, transfer it over, just because it looks a bit untidy, but it does actually play. And great game, Choplifter. Everyone knows Choplifter, I would think. So yeah, all in all, that was a good little bundle deal there. So very pleased with those. And then after that, I bought. This is a recent one actually. I think I got this the other day. Which that is Fight Night for the Atari XE. These games are supposed to be compatible with all of the Atari 8-bit systems, but actually on my Atari 400, it wouldn't work. Tried it loads of times, tried cleaning the contacts, it wouldn't load. I got this really cheap anyway. I think I paid about £8 for it. It was like a charity shop on eBay. But I just about given up with it. But to cut a long story short, I have upgraded the Atari 400 to an Atari 800, which I'll show off next week. I'm going to do an updated room tour because it's been a year since I did the last one, and there's been a lot changed. So I'll show that off on the video next week. And I will have the Atari 400 for sale if anybody's interested. I paid 120 quid for the Atari 400. I'll sell it a little bit cheaper than that. So yeah, if anyone's interested in that system, really cool system. Main reason for upgrade really is I wanted to have a better image. It's pretty good image through the RF, but with the Atari 800, you can use RCA cable, so it's easier to connect and tune in and what have you. But this is the only game I couldn't get to work on the Atari 400, but it does work on the Atari 800. So I think it's must be 48K memory one. But not a bad little boxing game. I played a little bit of it. It's fairly basic, but okay. Sorry, I know I'm rambling on a bit here, but that's my videos for you. And then this one called Turmoil. Good old John Gage did a video of this. I'd never heard of the game. He did a video of this, and straight away I thought that's something I would like. It's my type of game. One of those sort of fast, sort of shooty games. And yeah, it looked really good. So ever since then, I've been looking out for it on eBay, and almost all of the sales of this game seem to come from the US. So I was kind of getting a bit fed up with it. So I thought I might have to give up on looking for that game. Because it would work out about sort of 50 quid, I think, with postage. I wasn't going to spend that, silly money on it. And then suddenly one turned up in the UK, but strangely it was listed. It wasn't listed for Atari 400, 800. It was just listed for Atari, I think. And I think it even came in under the 2600 section. So it was buy it now or no, it was auction or best offers, one of those ones, and it was a 99p start. So I tried sending him an offer of £10 plus postage. I think it was £3 postage, and he just ignored it and let it expire. So then I tried offering. I think I offered like £13. So it would have been about £16 with postage, and again he just allowed it to sort of 2 days for the offer to expire. So I thought about putting a third one, but I thought, you know what, I'd take a chance on the auction, and sure enough, I bid on it and I ended up winning it. I think I won it. The auction ended at about £5 with £3 postage. So I actually got it a lot cheaper than what I'd offered him. So it's nice when it works out that way. But yeah, anyway, that's Turmoil. And again, I'll probably do a video of that one at some point. Really, really good fun game. Quite simple but addictive. And that brings me to the end of the Atari games. But there is more. Oh no, there's one more Atari game actually. And yeah, how could I forget this? Because it's one of my favourite games. And Defender. You'll have seen me talk about Defender quite a bit because I've got it on the TI-99, which I really love that version. And I've also got it on... I've got the Spectrum version, which is Defender. And I've got the Planetoid for the BBC Micro. And now I've got Defender on the Atari 800. Fantastic version of the game. Really, really good. Nice and fast. Possibly because I've always, for me, the TI-99 was a really good version. I know not everyone likes that one, but I've always thought that was a really good version of it. I think that's probably my favourite version of Defender now. The sound isn't. The sound effects aren't quite as good. Not quite arcade authentic, but the gameplay's fantastic. Really plays a good game of Defender. So yeah, and I got that again. I got it quite cheap. I think I paid £13 boxed for that one. So really, really happy with that. Absolutely love Defender. It's probably 80s arcade. It would probably be in my top 3 80s arcade games, I think. It's just a cracking game. Anyway, then we've got a couple of BBC Micro games, which I do. These don't turn up very often. These the sort of disc, or certainly the games I want. So when I see them, I try and grab them quick. Even though I've not at the moment got a disc player working on my BBC Micro, but that's about to change as well. So that again will be shown in next week's video, which will be a room tour. But anyway, the game in question first is Thrust, which if anybody my sort of age ever played the BBC Micro at school, you absolutely certain would have played Thrust. I know it is on other systems, but for me, Thrust does belong on a BBC Micro. So yeah, really chuffed to see that for sale. I think I paid £12 for that one. So yeah, very happy with that. I don't think he's ever had manuals inside because you've got the instructions on the back. So yeah, just a disc there, Superior Software, which they were the best software developer for the BBC Micro. So yeah, very, very happy to have that. There was another one for sale shortly after. Again, it's like the buses thing. But I already had that. And then the next one, this is another cracking game from back in the day, Galaforce, which was kind of, when you see a name and you see the sort of back, you would assume it's a Galaga clone, which it kind of is, but it's not really. It is its own game. It's quite different to Galaga, but very cool game. There'll be a video coming up of that. There's the inside. So yeah, as soon as I saw that, there were a few disc games all turned up at the same time, and I thought I can't afford to just go crazy and buy sort of 3 or 4 of them. But that one, I thought I'm having that. So yeah, that's that one. And I think that's about it, really. A couple of cassette music tapes. You've seen me talk about Transvision Vamp before, I'm sure. Yeah, used to be nuts on this. I really did used to love Transvision Vamp, and Velveteen was my favourite album of theirs. That was the album that got me into them. And yeah, I picked that up. This is next to nothing. I think it was £3 delivered or something like that, or £3.50. But yeah, nice to have that back in a collection. Yeah, very cool. Still a good album. Really enjoy it. And then this isn't really retro, but to match the t-shirt, we went to see Roger Waters about a week or so ago over in the London Palladium doing Dark Side of the Moon Redux. Really, really enjoyed it. It's not everyone's cup of tea, but yeah, it is mine. I thought it was fantastic. And yeah, I grabbed that cassette while it was available. Lucky, because just after I bought it, they were sold out, the cassettes, and I think they were only sold through the official website, so you can't get those cassettes anymore. So yeah, don't know whether, I'm kind of tempted, just because it's going to be something collectible, I'm kind of tempted to keep it sealed. I really don't know. Depends if I buy the vinyl or not. I might pick up the vinyl. If I do, I'll keep that sealed. If I don't pick up the vinyl, I'll just play that one. Yeah, anyway, that brings me to the end of my pickups, I think. Yeah, as always, I'll finish the video and then I'll see other stuff. Oh, hang on a minute. There is something. Yeah, I knew it would have been something, which I remember last minute. Yeah, when I picked up the Frogger LED game, you would have seen me mention that I don't want to really collect these. I haven't got the space, sadly. But I did want to pick up a Pac-Man one, and Puck Monster was the one which I wanted. So I don't know if this is going to focus, but yeah, really, just like the Frogger, really good version of Pac-Man. So you got your little power pills. That's when they flash when you can eat them, the ghosts. No idea if this is focusing. Oh, they've gone back to normal. But yeah, that is a really cool game of Pac-Man. And you've got the 2 modes to, I think the other one just makes it a bit more difficult. No, I think it might only be, yeah, there is 2 modes. But yes, so that is the only negative was it was missing the little badge there. But for the price I paid, I got that for, I think, £25 with postage. I think it's £25 posted. So nice condition. Yeah, really happy to have that. And that is about all. So yeah, I hope some people enjoyed that video. Again, happy Sunday. Just waiting for my roast to finish cooking. In terms of what's coming up, there'll be, like I said, next week I'm doing the Nosy Around a Retro Room Part 2. Because I think now at this point, I did mention when I did my first video, which was when I first started doing retro uploads, really. And I did mention the room is very much a work in process. But yeah, I think it's pretty much finished now. I'm really pleased with how it's all come together. So yeah, I thought it's probably time to do another one of those, an update, and show basically the finished article, with the exception of a few bits and bobs, which there's always some things change around. So that'll be coming up, and then I'll probably be doing some gameplay videos, which I always do. Probably some Atari 8-bit, I think, because I haven't filmed any of those yet. So I'm planning to, because I've had that on the CRT screen, but it's quite difficult to film on there. So I'm planning, now I've got the video cable, I'm planning to do a few of those on the sort of LCD screens. So anyway, stay tuned for those. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope everybody's having a great weekend. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll catch you another time. That is all.